Lakeland Asylum. This is where Kate Gripshover went to. They're known for electroshocking their patients. It's a scary place to go even today. That's one of the floors. This is what it looks like outside. It's all gothic and terrifying. You go to that building thinking you're actually going to get some help. It says Central Insane Asylum, Lakeland, Kentucky. It's in Jefferson County. It's in Louisville. Here's a nice another building. So that's terrifying. That is so scary. But the building has been torn down, so I don't remember seeing that building anywhere. But there was a different Lakeland Asylum or Lakeland Insane place that has all the records and stuff. But I don't remember seeing this building, so that might be a positive development. Dudley Road in Sanford Town with the D. That was relevant. I've seen on the land map Sanford, BF Sanford with SAN with no D. So I've seen it with a D, without a D. Sanford Town no longer exists, so it's basically mythical, however it is we want to spell it. Holy, it doesn't matter, it's just up to us survivors, right? So Holy Guardian Angel Cemetery, there's a lot of dead Gripshovers. This is probably the only relic of Sanford Town is this cemetery. It's right next to 275 and Route 17. Here's Rebecca C. Gripshover. She had graduated NKU, right? She was an alumni. She's from Burlington, Kentucky. Says she graduated from NKU, but unfortunately she had died, a couple years ago, 1 or 2 years ago, for unknown reason. I'm not even sure why she died. Here's another car accident. This is Mike. They called him, they said his name was Mike, but then they wrote his name as different. And he's, again, this is my age. And he was living in Warsaw. They said of Warsaw. This Gripshover was of Warsaw. So I don't know if he'd be related to Burlington Gripshovers, where he even came from. But, it's a truck, work truck. He has all that stuff. He's going around being useful. So I see very much the Gripshovers are tradesmen. They're merchants. They know how to do things. They're farmers and welders and builders and seamstresses. They're tradesmen. They know how to do stuff. That's what the Germans were good at, being tradesmen. The truck was tore up pretty bad. He was hit on a head-on collision by this SUV here, smashed right into the guy. So I don't see really. I don't know. There might be some blood or something on the tire. But I guess his body would have been ejected out because I didn't see any actually blood even in the sort of here, right? So where did he go? Did he shoot out of the car? What happened to his body? It doesn't seem like maybe they cut it out. Maybe he had his seatbelt on. Because I feel like it would have been a way worse of a mess if it wasn't. And it depends on how fast he was going to. And this doesn't. That color scares me. But I don't know. I don't know how the actual thing went down. This was this is sort of what happened. Sort of show he's got all these pipes and stuff, so it looks like he's some type of plumber. And we're gonna see more information about that, so I'm not gonna just leave you high and dry. Here's Castle Gardens. This would be the place where the immigrants are actually going to go before Ellis Island. Ellis Island was known for all the immigrants coming to it, but since we came sort of before the 1880s and 1890s, the biggest waves of the German immigrants, we came right before the biggest waves. We started coming in right 1869. We came in right before Otto von Bismarck and Prince William the First declared themselves emperor and kings of the German people and of the world forever and ever. So that's when we took off, right after we saw two wars of German unification, but we didn't see the third one. We weren't going to stay around to see what happens when France and Germans started warring against each other. We had been in there and we actually seen probably people had died within the Gripshover ancient ancestor lineage because of the Napoleon versus German wars. So Castle Garden, this is a bunch of officials sitting in the main plank, taking a picture of this big ass sort of building, welcoming new people to come in. It was right there. Right there is Castle Garden, so it's right on the coast. As soon as you come in, you'll see that big ass building. So you see the harbor with all the boats, right? So whenever you had any new immigrants coming in, any new boats, they would line up, and then they would all go there, get their shots, get registered, get their names, and then maybe find their passage and find their way home. And find some work, sign up for the military, do whatever it is they needed to do. Register for the immigrants. This is what they, what they were engaged in doing. This is what the scene would have looked like, sort of like a wild scene, like a stock market, stockbroker scene. But it's just getting people registered, right? New immigrants are coming in. They're headed to someplace, so just get them situated and get them to where they need to go. Here's a Guadalupe A bunch of pictures I took out of Guadalupe, a bunch of maps. I think it's just an old wall that's actually not being used by anything. But what could this have been? Is this a castle, right? People have that aristocratic mentality. Might build a castle. Castle Gardens again, bunch of immigrants and a bunch of boats and stuff coming in. Here's the Catholics having some secret meetings. I don't have a caption for it, so I'm not for sure what this is a picture of, but just Catholics and bishops. Maybe they're all deciding for the new pope, who the new pope is going to be. Whenever they decide for a new pope, they all get into a secret meeting and have the smoke, the black smoke or the white smoke, and the black, I don't know. So here's one of the only pictures, actually live pictures of the Deutschland. It was just sitting in a harbor with its sails down. It's an ironclad steamship, so it's actually run by steam. The sails help, but it's run by steam, right? So it's run by propeller. And yeah, so those German engineers, right? The Germans were good at making U-boats. Good at making technological, advancements when it comes to warfare. These ain't really bragging rights, but it just say that they're scientifically more prowess. They're more scientifically inclined, more rational, more logical, more ambitious, more engineerish. Okay, so there's coal mine operators, coal mine constructors, the bridges, people who created the bridges. These are all Germans. Einstein comes out of the German, the professors and people that's working in Germany. So, right. So this is just a feat of German engineering. You have all these sails, and then you got a propeller that's being propelled. It's an ironclad steamship. Okay, so it's made of iron, so it's strong or whatever, and it'll sink like like it's iron. But it's I don't know. Maybe it's good enough that it doesn't sink. If that helps. March draws record-breaking crowd. I have no idea what the point of that is. More Castle Garden pictures. Here's Prague, maybe the Catholic Cathedral in Prague. Or no, this is just in one of the cities. Maybe in Bavaria, Erfweiler, but it's just a big ass Catholic cathedral. It's got both. It's got two towers, right, and then it's got this big old honking sort of tower thing. Big old church, right? Big old church. This is right outside of the Saint Urban Church. So if you see this thing, you'll be right in the spot where you're gonna find the information either at Saint Urban Church or it's where the Saint Urban Church people put their either the Catholic churches, I guess in Munster, Germany, is where you'll find any of the artifacts or any of the death certificates or any information about prior, pre-Johann, who was before Johann the Great. We know Johann the Great, Gripshover, but we don't know anybody prior before him. Here's charcoal art. It's amazing, right? It looks like there's actually a whole sort of cave, wonderful, colorful cave right in the middle of the street. I would probably be nervous stepping on it, thinking I'm going to fall actually through it, but the detail, and it's all chalk, so you can just wipe it all up in a heartbeat. Here's the 1855 Know Nothing riot. Shows how in Cincinnati, this is what they showed to people in Cincinnati. The Germans try to vote. They brought a cannon. They're setting the German villas on fire. They just had all this sort of hatred against the German people. Benjamin Franklin, he was an anti-German, bigoted person, which, it doesn't really surprise me, to be honest. We're a country of new immigrants and then the ones who hate even newer immigrants. We've been here for a whole 50 years and we don't like you being in here. You're changing the whole fabric of America. Beautiful colors. This is the Confederation of the Rhine, the first German flag with the top part of it being green, the bottom being blue, white in the middle. Beautiful colors. I would like to actually live in a nation that has these colors. So the Kentucky flag is okay, but I'd like, maybe if they had the Kentucky flag with a green stripe and a white stripe on it. Wouldn't that look nice? So Deutschland sinking, crashing, bunch of stuff. Everybody, people going overboard, wild, insane, going to crash on the Kentish Knock Shoal, sinking, going in the ocean, deeper, deeper. Here's the sort of sticks, right, it's sinking there, it looks like too. But hey, it one time was successful, floating, happy. Here's one of the few pictures in Bremerhaven, SS Deutschland. And here's a tugboat. helping them to Liverpool. Is it the tugboat Liverpool? Helping the people to safety, right? So the boat is just kind of sitting on the island, right? Slowly sinking, but slowly but surely sinking. So I don't know why the nuds had to die. They just sacrificed themselves and said to hell with it, you know, because it seems like, I mean, look at all this flat area over here. It looks like it's still above water. And even the poles and stuff up there. So they just said to hell with it and just started flishing around in the water, or flashing around the water, until eventually they, lots of blonde women at Fox News, blonde, blue eyes. That's what Fox News, they know sex sells. So even if they don't have, you know, the truth, they at least have sexiness. And they can probably get other sexy women to buy into their bullshit. Diane Damasco is 5 over. So there's Diane Damasco, perhaps. And she is about the same size as everybody else, right? So it doesn't seem like the shortness is carrying. Joseph John Damasco, very distinguished young man, right? With all the hair. Look at all that hair. So I don't know. I like the Damascos a lot. I like what I understand of the Damascos. So I like that suit. I like that outfit. I like that hair. He's a serious man, but doesn't seem like a hate-filled asshole. Right, one of Henry's kids. Again, Henry's kids, more Henry's kids. Here's the immigrant building in Bremerhaven. So this is where they would be leaving to go to Castle Gardens, or if you was coming back. Here's Weiler. Somebody lives in Weiler, which I'm not for sure. It's in one of the Palatinates. So this is just some place in Germany. Weiler is where it's at, but it shows a walkway. And then it shows this beautiful scenery of lots of houses, and then it shows a skyline of a bunch of hills. So this reminds me of sort of Appalachia, right, with all these hillsides. But they have all these housing inside here, so it's a nice small little community. Don't know why this walkway is here, where it's going, but you know, I like this picture. It's a nice little picture. Same type of thing. Weiler, showing closer to the houses, sort of the thatched houses. I don't know why this is German architecture or work. They always have these thatched sides to the houses. I'm not sure what it does, or if they just like the way it looks, or if they actually they piece it together. But it looks symmetrical, right? So it looks like it's curving to the left here. This one's curving to the right. There's an X there. I'm not for sure. Here's a meme, you know, somebody said, where's your gun, Bible, and flag, right? She was in front of Hobby Lobby trying to be sort of controversial, but now she's even more controversial, right? Because if you have a gun, you're a woman, have a flag and a Bible, you pretty much can get whatever you want to in America, right? So all she has to do is say, I want war with Iran, and people are going to be like, wow, that's a good idea. We all need to have war with Iran. But let's look at her and a so-called terrorist, right? Here's a so-called terrorist with the Quran, with her AK-47, and with her, you know, all of her flag in American or Arabic. So she's got her symbols, she's got her gun, she's got her holy book. What's the difference between you two? What's the difference? Except for she probably has to fight, whereas she probably will never see any type of fighting, any type of bloodshed ever in her life. Right, her picking up a gun is kind of like not for survival, but for fun, right? This gun's for deer hunting. This gun is to save her children. If she's a Palestinian in Israel, yeah, she got to protect her kids. She don't. She's the one who pays taxes to make sure this woman is actually getting bombed, and make sure Israel's protected no matter how many children they murder. Because this is America. Americans don't give a fuck about any innocent person that the empire kills. Felicity Marie Elizabeth Rouse, Siete de la Rousselière. It's a long-ass name, but de la Rousselière, I saw some people was actually putting all that as one word, but de la, it's a title. And we also have the daughter of Andre Antoine Rao, Madeline Elizabeth Siete de la Rousselière, and sister. So we get a lot of information here. We get the parents and we get her sister. We almost get her entire, you know, family's name. Here's it says the flag of Prussia, but I've seen the flag of Prussia having all these flags. But again, we're going to say this is the flag of Prussia. In one hand, it looks like the crown, and then the other one looks like some sort of stick that a king has, right, to make decisions or something. I don't know. The first supermarket appeared on the American landscape in 1946. Until then, where was all the food? It was in the homes, gardens, local fields, and forests. It was in the pantry, the cellar, and the backyard. There's an argument that actually says civilization has nothing to do with the nation states or the cities, just because it has the appearance of civilization, because it's got modern, buildings and transportation. Really, there's somebody saying that true civilization happens in the hillsides, where they run away from the modernizing effects of the state, and that's when they retain autonomy and freedom by being out in the hills and taking care of themselves.